Our story begins in the 17th century in the rugged lands of Maharashtra. At this time, much of India was under the rule of the mighty Mughal Empire. However, the people of Maharashtra, known as the Marathas, had a unique identity, one that was deeply rooted in local culture and tradition. The Marathas were known for their love of freedom, their incredible skill as warriors, and their close-knit communities. But there was a problem. The local Maratha chiefs, known as Deshmukhs, were largely under the control of foreign rulers. Enter Shivaji Bhosale, a young Maratha warrior with a dream of uniting the people and establishing an independent kingdom, a place where his people could live freely and proud. The rise of Shivaji Maharaj. At just 16, Shivaji began to gather support from local warriors and loyalists. His first major move was the daring capture of Raigad Fort. This wasn't just a strategic win, it was a message to all of Maharashtra that a new leader had emerged. Shivaji was relentless, capturing fort after fort, each time strengthening his base and winning over the local people. Shivaji didn't rely on traditional warfare. Instead, he mastered guerrilla tactics, using the rugged terrain of the Western Ghats to his advantage. His lightning-fast attacks became legendary, and he gained a reputation as an unstoppable force. This tactic, known as Ganimi Kava, would become the backbone of Maratha warfare. Shivaji's vision for Swaraj and the coronation. In 1674, Shivaji crowned himself Chhatrapati, or emperor, of the newly established Maratha Empire. This wasn't just a political act, it was the birth of Swaraj, or self-rule, a powerful concept that would later inspire India's independence movement. Shivaji's coronation was a grand affair, and his people looked to him not only as a ruler, but as a symbol of freedom and pride. Shivaji's rule was different. He implemented a fair and efficient administrative system, prioritized the welfare of his subjects, and placed immense importance on justice. Women were respected, soldiers were disciplined, and looting was strictly prohibited. This wasn't just about expanding territories, it was about creating a society based on values. The Maratha Empire expands. After Shivaji's death in 1680, his successors continued his legacy. His son, Sambhaji, took the reins and faced tremendous pressure from the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb, who was determined to crush the Maratha power. But the Marathas were resilient, and even when Sambhaji was captured and executed, the Maratha spirit remained unbroken. In the following years, Maratha leaders like Raja Ram and later the Peshwas, who were chief ministers, led the empire into new territories, expanding its influence across vast parts of India. Under the Peshwas, especially Bajirao III's, the Maratha Empire reached its peak, stretching from the southern tip of India all the way to the northern plains. This expansion was remarkable, as the Marathas had now become one of the most formidable powers in India, challenging even the Mughals. Bajirao's victories were swift and bold. His motto, strike the enemy where they least expect it, and he did just that, winning countless battles and expanding Maratha influence. The challenges of expansion and the Battle of Panipat. But as the Maratha Empire expanded, so did the challenges. Managing an empire of such vast size required resources, manpower, and strong alliances. And while the Marathas were fearless warriors, they were not as experienced in large-scale governance. This weakness became evident in the Third Battle of Panipat in 1761. The Marathas faced the Afghan king Ahmad Shah Abdali on the plains of Panipat. It was a devastating conflict, one of the largest and bloodiest battles of the 18th century. The Marathas suffered massive losses, with thousands of their soldiers killed. The defeat at Panipat was a huge blow, not only to the Maratha Empire but also to their morale. The Maratha expansion slowed, and the empire entered a phase of decline. The British threat and the end of the Maratha Empire. As the Marathas recovered from Panipat, a new threat was emerging: the British East India Company. The British, with their advanced military tactics, political strategies, and cunning diplomacy, were gradually expanding their influence across India. The Marathas resisted fiercely, engaging in 3 major Anglo-Maratha wars against the British. They won some battles, lost others, but the British were relentless. The Marathas were gradually worn down, not just by military defeat, but by internal conflicts among their leaders, including rivalries and power struggles. By 1818, after the Third Anglo-Maratha War, the British had defeated the Marathas, marking the end of the Maratha Empire. The empire that had once challenged the Mughal might, stood as a beacon of independence, and inspired countless people to fight for freedom, had now fallen. The legacy of the Maratha Empire. Though the Maratha Empire fell, its spirit lived on. The Marathas showed the people of India that freedom was worth fighting for, that courage and resilience could challenge even the greatest of empires. Their legacy inspired future generations, including India's freedom fighters, who dreamed of a nation free from foreign rule. Today, in Maharashtra and across India, the story of the Maratha Empire is remembered with pride and reverence. Monuments, forts, and statues of Shivaji Maharaj and other Maratha leaders stand as reminders of their indomitable spirit.